Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe.
Reading from Sri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, verse 256.
256? How much left?
The last verse number is 272. So
6 weeks today, 27.
So maybe 15 verses.
So, yeah.
No. We are reading 258 today. Yes, 258.
The 14 verse.
It's our last chance. Aho, I am keeping an adolescent boy in my heart, meditating on his blue lotus-like luster, his crown of peacock feathers, and his cloth that shines like molten gold, so that blissful Radha will be pleased with me and give me the position of her maidservant,
Yeah.
which is attained by all the seers. Aho, I am keeping an adolescent boy in my heart, meditating on his blue lotus-like luster, his crown of peacock feathers, and his cloth that shines like molten gold, so that blissful Radha will be pleased with me and give me the position of her maidservant, which is attained by all the seers. The position of the seers. In the previous verse, Shripada prayed to Mohana for the delicious maid service of Sri Radha. Shripada's heart is as pure as the water of the Ganges, and Govinda appears in his meditation as a result of his humble prayer in the previous verse. How sweet is his form! Ujjvala Nilamani, Shringar Veda. During her first love, Purvaraga, Radha told Vishaka, "Oh friend, who is that young boy whose tender body looks like a blue Indivara lotus flower, who wears a cloth with the color of molten gold, who wears a necklace of pearls on his chest, and who fills the whole universe with amorous mellows? For the gopis, Krishna fills the whole world with eros, and for the maidservant, he is the one who startles their hearts with a turbulent aspiration for Radhika's maid service."
Right. Read again.
For the gopis, Krishna fills the whole world with eros, and for the maidservants, he is the one who startles their hearts with a turbulent aspiration for Radhika's maid service. Shripada says, "I will meditate on Mohana within my heart, just to please my blissful Radhika." Shripada calls Radhika Sukhamai because she is only interested in Mohana's happiness, just as he is only interested in Radhika's happiness. Narottama Dasa says, Krishna Nama Gane Bhai, Radhika Charana Bhai, Radha Nama Gane Krishna Chandra. Brother, if you sing Krishna's name, you attain Radhika, and if you sing Radha's name, you attain Krishna Chandra. This is the best way to please the divine couple. Sripada says, as a result of worshipping Mohana, Srimati will be pleased with me and grant me the position of her maidservant, a position that is meant for the seers. Most people in this world do not look so far. They are running after the mirage of temporary sense gratification, which keeps them revolving in the repetition of birth, death, old age and disease. Those who are able to renounce the sense objects that give initial happiness but that ultimately give great misery strive for liberation through the path of jnana or transcendental wisdom. Such people are called Davya Drishtinam or seers. Even greater seers are those who taste the joy of devotion to a personal God. For them, even the bliss of the impersonal Brahman becomes insignificant. Greater seers than that, even, are those who worship the Lord in his Vraja feature, and the greatest seers are surely those fortunate souls who aspire for the nectarian maid service of Sri Radhika. It is this kind of people that have attained the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon the fallen souls of the present age of Kali, that Sripada calls seers in this verse. Sripad Prabodhananda sings, blissful Radha is always pleased with anyone who meditates on bluish Sri Krishna, the best of dancers, who has the complexion of a blue Indivara lotus flower and who wears a crown of peacock feathers and a cloth with a luster of molten gold. Blissful Radha is always pleased with anyone who meditates on bluish Sri Krishna, the best of dancers, who has the complexion of a blue Indivara lotus flower and who wears a crown of peacock feathers and a cloth with a luster of molten gold, and she bestows the very rarely attained position of her maidservant upon such a person. Thus how ends the verse 258.
One more.
Why it is said, Gurudev, that if we sing the Radharani's name that we will get Krishna?
In service, different things. Huh? Then I understand the importance of Krishna He is not a god. He is a lover of Radhika. Before conception was wrong, I have to bring for her service. And in this there is Gopi Bhav, Sakhi Bhav, and Manjari Bhav. Manjari also catch and bring for Radhika for her happiness. So more services will come for catching Krishna and bringing to her. For Gopi, he directly put the arrow to them. For Manjari's Dasi, he inspired only Radharani's service. We don't do that. Different bhava and different inspirations. He never touched the Manjaris. He very careful with the Manjaris. The Manjaris has no desire, personal with Krishna, selfless. So he cares more and inspired. It's not I can catch and this. In Western world, they all say Krishna, Krishna. Then they come to Vrindavan. So Krishna bring to them Vrindavan. You start with that. When you are signed with Krishna, then we know alternative go. This is not that we have to cut and bring it. This is our weakness. We need him for my Priya Radharani all the time to make her happy, Swami happy.
We are reading verse 259. I always meditate on Krishna, who wears a crown of peacock feathers. I always sing his name in Sankirtana. I always serve his lotus feet, the deity, and repeat his best of mantras, holding the desire for the supremely cherished service of Sri Radhika's lotus feet in my heart. When will that great festival of divine love arise in my heart by his grace? I always meditate on Krishna, who wears a crown of peacock feathers. I always sing his name in Sankirtana. I always serve his lotus feet, the deity, and repeat his best of mantras, holding the desire for the supremely cherished service of Sri Radhika's lotus feet in my heart. When will that great festival of divine love arise in my heart by his grace? Sripada continues his prayers in Sadakavesh for Sri Radhika's maid service. It is for the sake of attaining Sri Radhika's service only that he worships Krishna, not independently.
Yeah. Yeah.
वो काटा 50 किलो काटा नीले 5,000 টাকা लगा।
हमने कांटा का इंतजाम किया है।
अच्छा
100 किलो का
कितने की?
900 रुपये का।
हाँ वही है, वही की रेट वही। और हमने आए हैं एक जन उसको भेजा था तो वो भी ऐसे ही बेचा है।
तो 5,000 के
50 किलो का 5,000 में आ जाए। हम लोग को 50 किलो बहुत है।
100 किलो तक हो सकता है।
50 किलो का टाइप बहुत है।
मैं 100 किलो का भी वेट हो सकता है उसका। 900 रुपये में दे रहा।
तो बढ़िया।
It is for the sake of attaining Sri Radhika's service alone only that he worships Krishna, not independently. Amara Ishwari Hon Vrindavaneshwari Tara Prananatha Boli Bhaji Giridhari. My mistress is the queen of Vrindavana, and I worship Giridhari only because he is the Lord of her life. This is the slogan of the Radha Snehadika devotees.
Again.
Amara Ishwari Hon Vrindavaneshwari Tara Prananatha Boli Bhaji Giridhari. My mistress is the queen of Vrindavana, and I worship Giridhari only because he is the Lord of her life.
This is the point. Object change, no? And how we can separate to Krishna from her means I'm in Sakhi Bhava, what? I'm in Dasi Bhava. Dasi Bhav has to always care about his Swamini, what she likes, that has to care, organize that the service of Dasi. No?
This is the slogan of the Radha Snehadika devotees.
Again, this underline.
Yes. It is for the sake of attaining Sri Radhika's service alone that he worships Krishna, not independently. Amara Ishwari Hon Vrindavaneshwari Tara Prananatha Boli Bhaji Giridhari. My mistress is the queen of Vrindavana, and I worship Giridhari only because he is the Lord of her life. This is the slogan of the Radha Snehadika devotees.
Yeah.
Radha. Sripada says, I worship Krishna, who wears a peacock feather, only to please Radha. I will see in my meditation that I am serving Radhika in a solitary kunja in Vrindavana, and that she will be angry with Krishna for being a little too late for his appointment with her. I will then see in my meditation how Krishna makes his peacock feather crown roll on the ground before her feet just to pacify her peak.
Yeah.
To meditate on Krishna in this way is the greatest festival of Anuraga for me. In the same way, I will always loudly chant Krishna's holy name together with Radharani's holy name, holding the most cherished maid service of Sri Radha in my heart. This chanting will cause a festival of Anuraga to appear in the heart. Srila Raghunath Goswami similarly prayed. O tongue suffering from thirst, please mix the delicious nectar of the name Radha with the wonderfully sweet condensed milk of the name Krishna. Add the fragrant ice of pure love and drink this charming drink at every moment. Shripada says, I will always serve Krishna's lotus feet, the deity, and I will worship my Ishwari with the remnants of his food, his chewed bitter leaves, and his flower garlands. I will always mutter his best of mantras, the 18-syllable Gopi Jana Vallabha mantra, so that my mind, man, will be saved, from bodily consciousness, and I will become absorbed in thinking of my Manjari Swarup. This very enthusiastic Krishna bhajan will swiftly make me attain the most cherished treasure of Sri Radhika's maid service. For the sake of attaining establishment in the most cherished nectarian service of Radhika's lotus feet, I will always meditate on Mohana, who wears a crown of peacock feathers, and I will always chant his holy name. I will always worship Mohana's lotus feet and mutter his best of mantras. By Mohana's grace, I will attain the great festival of spontaneous love that is the most astonishing thing in all the three worlds. Radhara Kinkari Pada Sudurlabha Se Sampada Lokatita Parama Ananda Bhane Shri Prabodhananda Bhagya Mila Se Ananda Kripa Koile Nanda Kula Chanda. Shri Prabodhananda sings, it is by great fortune and by grace of Krishna, the moon of King Nanda's dynasty, that I can attain the limit of transcendental ecstasy, the rarely attained treasure of Radharani's maid service. Thus ends the verse 259.
Radhe Radhe Go